where does this all begin with? Where is that existence of this entire theory, and what made me get into karmic alignment is very important, because you must understand that not that everybody gets this wisdom. You are plainly lucky, and somehow ancestors blessing, maybe आपने कुछ किया होगा कि that vision and that kind of knowledge is coming to you. And believe me, it is nothing to do with Sarvesh. It is simply between you and divinity, and I am just spelling this out to you, very simple as that. फिर उसके बाद आपका फ्री विल है, आप उसको यूज करोगे नहीं करोगे, दैट इज टोटली अप टू योर डिसीजन. इट इज नथिंग टू डू विथ मी. आई कैन नॉट प्ले दैट रोल ऑफ कॉलिंग एवरी डे मॉर्निंग एंड सेइंग कि ठीक है आपने ये किया कि नहीं, समथिंग लाइक दैट. इट इज समथिंग टोटली बिटवीन यू. So faith and patience becomes very important. But primarily, why did somebody like Sarvesh, who has nothing to do about Vedic science in his family or whatever, reach out to a medium and create some technique about karmic alignment and resolve in terms of this? Because what I realized in my own life, I set up like a lot of people like you and many other young people, that I had this ideology in my upbringing. Because let's leave aside my upbringing and my problems and childhood, whatever, that's another story. But what happened is very simply that I had this assumption that when I achieve these four things in life, I will be the most happiest person in life. Okay, like normal human being, हम सब जानते हैं कि ये चार चीजें पाने के बाद मेरे को तो बहुत खुशी मिलेगी. बट मेरे साथ ये हुआ कि when I went through a lot of challenges in my life, and I started, in the turmoil, and I fought everything, and when I actually got everything, I realized that vacuum in my life, कि सब कुछ होने के बावजूद भी फिर अभी आज हैप्पीनेस क्यों नहीं है, कंटेंटमेंट क्यों नहीं है. एंड इन माय एक्सपीरियंस of my own life, I realized that, चाहे आप उसको intuition बोलो, divine grace बोलो, in my upbringing, I'd seen a lot of things in my life, that I'd met astrologers in a train, I met astrologers traveling in a flight to Australia, I met so many people in this world without पेइंग फॉर द सर्विसेज, और वो कुछ 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 मेरे को बता रहे थे. और उस पॉइंट तक तो सब कुछ ठीक था, बट उसके बाद कभी हुआ नहीं जो उन्होंने बोला. तो आई वाज वंडरिंग कि ऐसे कैसे हो सकता है कि साला ये पिछला तो सब कुछ बता रहे हैं, लेकिन आगे का मेरे लाइफ में कभी कुछ नहीं होता. इसका मतलब एक ही इश्यू है, दैट मीन्स कुछ तो साला गड़बड़ है मेरे खुद के लाइफ में. सो आई ट्राई टू अंडरस्टैंड दैट. एंड चाहे आप उसको डिवाइन टाइमिंग बोलो या कुछ भी बोलो, उस सर्च में I started doing two things. One, I started trying to understand different forms of occult. And मेरे को किसी का जमा नहीं, बिकॉज मेरे को समझ नहीं आ रहा था, क्योंकि कोई भी डायरेक्ट डेफिनेट आंसर नहीं दे रहा था. जैसे आप किसी एस्ट्रोलॉजर के पास जाओ और उसको अगर ऐसे क्वेश्चन पूछो कि आपका लाइफ पर्पस क्या है, वो गड़बड़ जाएगा, उसको समझ में नहीं आएगा आपको आंसर क्या करे. आप अगर उसको ये पूछो कि मेरी शादी कब होगी, मेरी ये कब नौकरी कब लगेगी, तो आपको कोई आंसर मिल सकता है. बट आप अगर ऐसे पूछो कि मेरा बताओ कि मैं जिंदा क्यों, मींस व्हाई हैव आई टेकन बर्थ, एंड नोबडी कैन आंसर यू. दैट इज व्हाट आई फेल्ट एट द शॉर्टफॉल. So when I was looking at my own chart, it was a total awareness moment for me when I realized that the Vedic science is talking purely about the route to moksha. और जो मैंने ये बात पकड़ ली, बस वो मेरा भी घुस गया पैशन की तरफ. because once you understand the moksha route, then every other thing is simply not consequential. That means there is nothing to there after that, right? So what I realized in my own life, that I am an architect, and I learned project management not by going to college. Of course, now from the chart, I understand why that did not happen. But from that perspective, I was a street smart guy. That means I learned through sight, I learned through real life experience, and I had more experience than the normal guy who went to theory. So what I did was simple exercise. I understood कि कोई भी अगर आपको किसी को गाइड करना है, देखो आई वॉज 25 एंड आई रियलाइज दैट एट 25 वी वांट सम काइंड ऑफ गाइडेंस. हमको पता नहीं होता कि हमने तो ये सोचा था कि हम ये कॉलेज में करेंगे, टॉपर बनेंगे, ये करेंगे, फिर हमारा ये हो गया. जब वो मोमेंट आता है, हमको पता चलता है कि ये तो ऐसा कुछ काम ही नहीं कर रहा है. Just because I am the brilliant guy and I got top marks in my university doesn't mean that at my office they are going to respect me to that position. So it is total like the turmoil in your life. You do not know now bhi karu kya and kahan mere se gadbad ho rahi hai. And that is what I understood, that Vedic science is giving you the potential answers to all your issues in your terms of life. It is a solution based approach. And what I did was simply connected project management to life coaching and towards the permanent solution, because it was my belief system कि अगर आप एक्चुअली किसी को गाइड करना चाहते हो, थिंक ऑफ इट लाइक लॉजिक, बिकॉज आई एम अ प्रैक्टिकल गाय. If you really want to guide somebody, then why it has to be again and again and again and again? If divine actually exists, then imagine divine आपके सामने आ जाता है और आपको एक चीज बोलता है, तो जरूरी है कि वो बार बार आए आपको ये बोले कि is one time enough? So obviously I felt that one time is enough to guide a person towards his life purpose. So when I did a simple exercise of combining all these factors with my own life understanding, simply karmic alignment came into existence, because I understood that आपके चार्ट में एनर्जीज है, उसको जब तक आप यूज नहीं करोगे वो आपको फिर ट्रबल करता ही रहेगा, या आप समझो कि ऑब्स्टेकल्स आ रहे हैं, लेकिन एक्चुअली क्या हो रहा है, आप उसको यूज नहीं कर रहे हो इन टर्म्स ऑफ अ प्रॉपर डोमेन. Now, simply, I and many people must have realized this, that when you read the Bhagavad Gita, चाहे आप सालों साल पढ़ते रहो, कितने भी बार पढ़ते रहो, I know my aunts, uncles, they've been reading Bhagavad Gita for 50 years, but actually किसी को मीनिंग पता ही नहीं उसका क्या है. तो मैंने भी कोशिश करी, मैंने भी भगवत गीता पढ़ा, मेरे को इसमें यही सुनाई दिया बार बार, like a normal layman, कि Krishna is all the time saying that I am this and I am this and I am this, I am the God, kind of thing. But when I connect it to the Vedic science, every stotra of the Bhagavad Gita becomes very clear by means of understanding. And I will give you an example. For example, today I am doing readings of people all over the world. And let me assure you one thing, कि कोई भी मैंने प्रचार करके किसी को नहीं बोला कि 50% ऑफ है, 10 1 पे 1+1 फ्री है, ऐसे. आई डू नॉट बिलीव दिस इन द वैदिक साइंस, सिंपली बिकॉज somebody who has to come to me will come कहीं ना कहीं से, जैसे आप पहुंचे, मैं आपको जानता नहीं, ना मैंने कभी एडवर्टाइज किया ना कुछ. सी, बिकॉज द डिवाइन brings that person to the actual knowledge and actual answer that he needs to seek. So what I'm telling you is simply that I'm doing reading of somebody who might be sitting in Israel, somebody who is sitting in Dubai, somebody who's sitting in the United States, he might be a Christian, he might be a Muslim. You can still do the same reading of that person, and let me tell you that it will work as brilliantly. Now, what is the meaning is Vasudeva Kutumbakam. That means this is the theory. That means we are just separated by borders and religion, but the soul doesn't believe like this. You will be surprised, and I will explain to you today that every person in this world is categorized into 12 ascendants only. There are only 12 types of people in this world. Like for example, if you are a Gemini ascendant, तो 60% आपका life का theory ये रहेगा ही रहेगा, आप उसको कुछ भी नहीं कर सकते हो. तो my understanding was this, that if 60% of our life is purely spelled out, then why are we wasting our time not to understand it very clearly? Isn't it important that at 18 maybe you should have known all these things, so that you don't need to come till 48, 47 and come? One way of that thinking is, yes, you might think that, yes, that everything happens at a divine moment and thing. We can look at our life like that, but why not change it in terms of our young people, in the young children today, who can understand this is much faster. आपको अगर पता चले कि आपका नीस, आपका बच्चा ये ascendant है, why not understanding कि ये इसका life का purpose ऐसा ही है, तो क्यों time waste करने का in other things? 40% is where you need to focus your free will. So I felt very strongly, and today you will realize after this session that there is always a strong divine grace coming with respect to the Vedic science. It is simply about your life purpose. If you understand this, do not look into the tangent of your mind, look at it from the soul perspective, and then you will see those answers coming. See, what happens is this, that the first rule, I have never differentiated the Vedic science from spirituality. The spiritual master just looks at you and he understands those energies. From a Vedic perspective, maybe somebody needs to look at your chart, but there is a possibility, if the the master, or the person who is exponent in Vedic science, he himself is so evolved that he can just look at you and your chart, and he doesn't need to see anything. Those planets starts talking to him. This is how the masters have described Vedic science. So the first rule about our discussion today that you must remember, that it is nothing other than the truth that you're going to hear. Your soul already knows everything that I'm going to speak about. It is only that your mind holds it from understanding everything. Secondly, it is also always remember that when you are focusing on the issue of being a God believer, most of the people are in this turmoil because you want to be only a God believer, sitting in front of God. सोचा मैंने 8 घंटा पूजा करी, I got, and then you're thinking at the end of the day मेरे को क्या मिला कि नहीं. देखो, on the path of divinity, you have to only try to experience God, and Vedic science can give you that power to experience God through some kind of a power in terms of events around you and spiritual connect. Because remember, whenever you go to a temple and you see outside the temple there is a Nandi bull, most of the people must have told you iske kaan mein apne problem bolo, bhagwan sun lega. Actually it is not like this. The Nandi bull is representing simply that when a master, he's waiting for the master. Shiva, when goes into penance, or any deity who goes into the penance, it might take him 1 year, it might take him 10 years, it might take him 10,000 years. But Nandi is waiting. He's not thinking, abhi 6 baje mere ko jana hai ghar ki grahasti sambhalna hai, whatever. He's just waiting for the master. And jis din master aata hai, he just surrenders and he starts walking along with the master. It is simple as that. So why do I tell you this? Because whatever practices I will tell you to do, whatever things I'm going to tell you with respect to your mind, body and soul, remember you cannot attach it to the wave thing of timeline कि ये मेरे साथ आज होगा, कल होगा, परसों होगा. This is an illusion you will create if you're going to connect to timeline. Vedic science tells you very clearly that one cannot expedite. If you are going to get married next year, then it is not going to make it happen tomorrow. It will happen at that particular time because it is from your sanchit karma. But yes, it has the power to take you to that point very nicely. And by the way, from your chart, I can tell you that you will meet your husband only at your workplace. Simple as that. Something related to work. You're going to connect with somebody from your workplace. That's for sure. Something related to your karma, 10,000 related आपका ये होने वाला है. That is simple as that. But I will come into the detail later. But Vedic science, very simply, is talking about your health, looking from your, I did not tell you this, but I am also going to do the medical astrology consultation for you in this session today, where looking at your chart, I can tell you from the time you were born, what was the destined disease for you. आपको इस लाइफ में क्या डेस्टिनी डिजीज लेके आएगा एंड क्या आपका फ्री विल डिजीज है जो आप कंट्रोल कर सकते हो, ये आपका चार्ट स्पेल आउट करेगा आज. Now, isn't it powerful? I just finished a session with somebody and I told that lady that you have ovaries problem. Remember, just looking at a chart, I've not done a blood test or something. So that is how powerful Vedic science is. And it has a power to transform your destiny, provided you understand this 60-40 properly. Because आपने energy गलत जगह पे डाली तो फिर आपको हमेशा वो turmoil रहेगा. So this is something that is very important. And the concept, as you remember, that what is my intention for you is very important. It doesn't happen कि मैंने आपको बोला ये पानी पियो, तो पानी में आप अगर जाके उसका टेस्ट करोगे तो पानी में क्वालिटी कुछ नहीं मिलेगा आपको. इट इज सिंपली अबाउट द इंटेंशन दैट आई होल्ड फॉर यू इन टर्म्स ऑफ द डिवाइन थिंग दैट इट विल मैनिफेस्ट फॉर यू. एंड सिंपली रिमेंबर that when I am on the path of my own moksha, it doesn't matter to me कि मेरे को अच्छा बोले, बुरा बोले, कुछ भी बोले, 10 points दे, -1 point दे, because at a higher domain, I have to just do my effort in the best possible way. And you can only feel gratitude or thankful for me towards my effort. But other than that, whatever I'm going to spell out today, it is totally between you and the divine. It has nothing to do with me. Let me tell you very clearly. So that is one thing. And whatever I'm going to spell today, it's do not think in terms of a predictive ability, but look at it more in terms of, aligning and trying to understand your soul. And simply that I cannot be judgmental or biased in whatever I'm going to tell you. I have to tell you the way it is. I cannot just because मजा आए तो मैं ऐसे बोलूं, या आपको दुख लगेगा तो मैं ऐसे तोड़ मोड़ के बोलूं. ये मेरा ethics और principle मेरे को doesn't allow. So please do not think that I can do that. Number 2. And when it is a divine science, it is nothing about जैसे लोगों ने आपको डरा, मतलब जनरली बोलते हैं शनि की महादशा, Saturn ये कर देगा. I love Saturn because today, if whatever I am, it only because Saturn made me realize that this is the path for me towards liberation. That cannot happen without Saturn. नहीं तो क्या होता, हर benefic planet, so called benefic, can create that misery for you. It's like imagine कि सब benefic planet के हाथ में आ जाए तो कोई भी खूनी जेल में नहीं सड़ेगा, बिकॉज कोई ना कोई तो उसका रिलेटिव लव्ड वन होगा, कोई तो उसकी माँ होगी, तो इफ यू लुक एट दैट पर्सपेक्टिव देन नोबडी देयर विल बी नो जस्टिस. टू बैलेंस दैट जस्टिस, Saturn takes a very important role in our life. And also the, like you coming to me at a time like this, when just now Saturn is going to go into Aquarius, spells a lot of things that your karmic release is there. That means some kind of a curse coming out from your life. It is an answer that you will have, and that is how you can take it forward. And it is something that I am not going to influence my own thought. जो मेरे को समझ है वैदिक साइंस से, आई एम गोइंग टू स्पेल इट आउट फॉर यू. And this is a very confidential information. That means it is only for your ears, and it is not to be shared with here and those people, because what that person might have for you, or the energies, you do not know. So this is something that you have to be very careful. Now, one very interesting thing before I even start your reading, I will tell you, and why I want to tell you this subject is because an ascendant, जब आपका जन्म एक जेमिना एसेंडेंट की तरफ you are born, already that 60% karma is done. And I will tell you that you need to focus on understanding this. So what it means very simply, how it will manifest, it is another thing, but this is the story which is going to be in your life. And just try to resonate with it in terms of an open mind. जरूरी नहीं है कि आपके साथ ऐसे हुआ हो या आप ऐसे हो, but this is how the the decoding of this ascendant happens. So it simply says that you will have some kind of a pending karma with your motherland, property, or health issues. Any one of this will be manifesting in your life. There will be a debt related to this mother or motherland, property, some angle. There could be inheritance related issues with you with respect to insurance, etc. Your health will fluctuate, going up and down. You will have a dual personality. And when you have children, actually your relationship with them will be like friends. They're like your friends coming from the past life to you. Your karma is destined for you to change something in your karma itself or in career field. There is something you'll have to bring transformation. You will have something with respect to like spending a lot of money towards your career. Maybe to establish your enterprise, you might have to spend something.
I mean, there are a lot of things that you said are absolutely right.
तो आपको स्ट्रेटजी आपकी बना के धीरे धीरे उसके ऊपर चलना पड़ेगा, बिकॉज वंस यू वॉक द पाथ, half the thing is already done. If you agree and to walk that path, then moksha is waiting for you. 99%. कोई 100% राइटिंग में नहीं दे सकता, बट एटलीस्ट आपको एश्योरेंस होगा कि नाउ आप ये पाथ पे ठीक से चलने लग, आपको साइंस आने लग जाएंगे. You will start dreaming about things. You will start understanding how things are moving. You have to focus. आपके लाइफ में ऐसे अगर पर्सपेक्टिव था कि I want this partner and then this resonation will come with me and this happiness will come with it, turn it around. You start working your karmic path. You start doing what your life, your soul is asking you to do from this point of reading. And if the destiny is written for you, then that person will automatically walk into your life. Isn't that more beautiful than trying to do this? That is what I'm trying to tell you. Then let it happen. फिर आपको तो एटलीस्ट तसल्ली होगी कि ठीक है, मैंने तो अपना कर्म किया ठीक से, फिर बाकी तो भगवान की मर्जी है कि क्या है.
नहीं, I don't have any questions.
इतने लोग ऐसे भी हो सकते कि मैंने 20 पेजेस लिख के दिया, बट वो करने को अभी भी वही है कि अंगूठी पहनना है और ये करना है. और मैंने देखो आपको क्या कुछ भी नहीं बोला है. ये मंत्रा करना, मतलब उच्चारण करना है, ये आपके लाइफ का बिहेवियर पैटर्न ये करना है, थोड़ा वैदिक साइंस सीखना है, बस. आपने ये किया, यू सी योर लाइफ विल टोटली ट्रांसफॉर्म. देयर इज नो सीक्रेट अबाउट इट.
Absolutely. These are very doable things and easily doable.
मेरे पास ऑन रिकॉर्ड है मैम. आज आपने बोला कि मेरे पास कोई क्वेश्चन नहीं है. 225th पर्सन हो आप जो ये बोल रहे हो कि मैं सर्वेश आई हैव नथिंग. आई हैव गॉट पीपल हु सिट विथ मी व्हेन द सेशन स्टार्ट्स, इतना बड़ा लिस्ट लेके बैठते हैं, एंड जब एंड होता है ना, उनके पास आंसर, मतलब दे आर ज़ैप्ड. एंड आपको ज्यादा हिट करेगा व्हेन यू स्टार्ट रीडिंग इट. बट डू नॉट बी इन दिस इल्यूजन दैट ये लिखने के बाद, ये पढ़ने के बाद कुछ और है.